Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Convoluted Podcast. It's your host, Liz. I'm with Tyrant, Dominus, aka Jesus, and if it's your first time listening, you can always subscribe. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but we appreciate it. How you doing, Jesus?
I'm good. A little bit more energy than the last episode. So yeah, guys, I know it was rough listening to us. Liz got back. I was tired. A little bit more energy this week. So yeah, I'm doing good. Busy in the fun way. Got to see movies, got to see some old friends, and just kind of on the tail end of cleaning. So it's that nice simple cleaning. Spring cleaning's not over for me, but it's the nice like finishing end point. So I can see the end. Guys.
The light is at the end of the tunnel. Is there to reach.
So yeah, everyone knows that moment when you're just starting to clean. I'm like, this is never gonna end. But I can see the end.
There's multiple of you, so like there's more people in the household who can do a little more tasks. So
true. But how's your week been?
It's been interesting. I had an allergic reaction or a chemical burn of some sort. Oh, well, we haven't figured that out yet.
Ooh, chemical burn. Yes, actually, I have a story about that too.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, you were messaging me because you almost got off work, but that's one of the scary things where it's like chemical at your work. What the heck happened? But yeah, I don't know if you can say or anything.
Oh no, it's just okay. So hopefully every hospital, I can't say for everything, everybody, there's supposed to be a monthly clean. Like we do like a deep end cleaning of the whole thing. So we use a couple of different ones.
And you lost the straw pull. Like, I got to clean.
I know. I had been avoiding that for 5 years. Like I was like so happy I wasn't doing that shit because I don't know if you ever walk by that shit when it's finished. It like smells like vinegar. Like raunchy vinegar. That's how it smells. Bruh. So like even just walking back, it must be the monthly clean. They're cleaning it and it's so
not so a single strong. Fuck was given this day.
We do this one with paradox and then we go over alcohol. But I mean we literally get from ceilings, sidewalls, anything and everything that's in the clean room. So we're in it, and I started feeling the burn. I was like, that's fine. Like, maybe it's too tight because you had to wear this huge ass mask. So you saw that mask I sent you. Yeah. Like, what is that atrocity?
Fuck me, right?
I think I'll try to post a photo of it on the thing. You guys, if you guys are watching the video, because you can listen or watch this, I'll try to post it while we're talking. But yeah.
Yeah. And it was like basically it's a thing like this, and it's just like little straps. You got like 3 straps on the back end of everything. And you're ripping it over your head, right?
So it's like a gas mask. A gas mask.
It's almost like a gas mask, almost, yes, because of the fumes you're smelling, right? So you can't like literally walk in and out of that clean room. You literally once you go in, you're kind of stuck in there. So because you're garbed up to like the max, and I felt a little burn. I was like, maybe something. Maybe I have an itch. It felt like an itch, like at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm not touching it because you can't touch anything basically on your body once you start cleaning things. So, or anytime while you're in the hood. And so I'm in there and it started burning. I was like, well, this feels weird. And then, she's cleaning with the mop head above my head because she's got longer arms. She's a little slightly taller than I am.
Yes, and Liz is only 4'9".
And it started to get worse. And I was like, crap. Like it was really hurting. And then at some point, maybe an hour and a half into it, I finished what I was doing on the section, and I said, I have to step out. There's something that's burning. And I asked one of my coworkers, hey, can you look at my scalp? And it looked like it was like bright red, like the bright red of your walls, basically. That's how bad it was. I was like, I went to the employee health. They had pictures of it. They were trying to figure out how it worked, what happened. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. I don't know if it was an allergic reaction or a chemical burn or what, but yeah, and I wind up taking a shower on the clock. That was interesting to say the least.
Damn. Luckily, didn't turn anything serious. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good thing. So, yeah, don't think I'm really looking forward to the next clean whenever I have to do it again. Just don't lose the straw poll. Just don't lose the straw poll. I'm trying not to, but apparently I am.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's been a very interesting week of working out, doing that, and all sorts of crazy scheduling. So.
Oh yeah, kind of continue with this.
Remember, we're going on to back to my home state, huh?
Actually, no. I have a story a little bit concerning like burning and stuff. So this just happened a few days ago. So for the most part, everyone who's listening to the podcast, my dad's like a really I would consider like a handyman, like a jack of all trades, master of none, really. Like most older people are. Like everyone likes to do their own little things. Just a couple days ago, he was cleaning out an old car battery, and he put the
clean out the whole car body. Like, you don't even touch that stuff. That stuff is corrosive.
Trust me, I don't understand him. But he was cleaning out with the hose, just anything out, and then it just exploded all over him. And it was one of the most hectic afternoons. Like, it got to the point where it scared my little nephew. He was screaming and everything. And he was refusing to go to the hospital. I'm like, you gotta go to the hospital. One of those things, like, bruh. Like, the fortunate thing was, when he was cleaning out the thing, it was already emptied out, so it was just light residue. And he literally took an hour-long cold shower just to get anything. And after he refused, we kind of monitored him for like the first 3 hours. He looked alright, so nothing too bad. But it's one of the things you never know.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
No funsies.
So, but yeah, that's crazy, right? That was a fun day that day.
Well, yeah, you were like, oh, good lord, it's happening in twos.
Well, yeah, that's gonna just be careful, guys. You got to really be careful, mostly when you're dealing with any battery acid, any car, just regular batteries. So
I wasn't involved with batteries. There's definitely cleaning solutions, but yeah,
chemicals are chemicals, right?
Chemicals are chemicals. Yep.
So okay, so let's jump into some of these stories. We are jumping into the state of California this week. This might be a California episode because there's some wild ones, some weird ones, and some like, really, what's happening here?
Yeah.
All right, then go for it.
All right. Posted this one. California schools should ban flaming hot Cheetos under new bill. Wow. Already starting. The days of flaming hot Cheetos in California schools may be numbered. A new bill aims to ban from public schools food products that contain artificial dyes, including ingredients that make Cheetos pop with the signature yellow and red colors. Lawmakers argue that developing young minds are harmed by the chemical ingredients, and the federal guidelines have not been updated in decades. Assembly Bill 2316 takes aim at 6 synthetic food dyes: blue 1, blue 2, green 3, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6, as well as coloring agent titanium dioxide ingredients commonly used to artificially tint foods, including candy, as well as drinks and some medications and vitamins. Red 40 and yellow 6 are found in Takis, Doritos, and Flamin' Hot Cheetos. The Main culprits that turn snack lovers' fingers are powdery crimson. Blue 1 is found in Fruit Loops, and other artificial dyes can be found in Jolly Ranchers, M&M's, Sour Pouch Kids, and Mountain Dew.
The stuff that gives it flavor. Yum.
Is it really a good flavor, though?
Hey, when my fingers are red from the powder, that just tells me I'm having a good time. Come on, everyone. Everyone listening, everyone's had hot Cheetos to the point where it leaves your fingers red hot.
I've maybe had one in my lifetime. I've never.
What? You've never had hot Cheetos?
I've never full bag of hot Cheetos.
No.
I may have had one.
Liz is definitely. Liz is definitely.
I'm a white girl. I can admit it.
No, Liz is the type of girl who's supposed to eat hot Cheetos and lie. Actually, give me a second. Let me see if I can find that meme. It's literally a meme. All women do are eat hot Cheetos and lie. Let me see.
Hot Cheetos and lie.
Yeah, hot Cheetos and lie. Let me get me fine. Continue.
Have I been known to lie?
A lot of times. She does nothing but false, fake news.
Oh, wow.
All right, continue.
Wow.
Let me find the meme while you finish up.
Assembly member Jesse Gabriel D'Antonino, I'm assuming Democrat out of Encino, introduced the bill and emphasized this is not an outright ban of any specific products, but of those chemical ingredients. It's not going to ban for sale in the state of California any of these foods, Gabriel said Tuesday during a news conference touting the bill. This is not a food ban. This is not banning Flaming Hot Cheetos in California. Flaming Hot Cheetos parent company, Frito-Lay, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. In a 2021 study from the California Environmental Protection Agency found that consuming synthetic food dyes could lead to hyperactivity and other neurological behavior in some children. Gabriel said he was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or ADHD, as a child, and his own son has the same neurodevelopmental disorder. Flaming Hot Cheetos not only ubiquitous among many snackers, but also a cultural phenomenon that has inspired art, rap videos, fashion, and menu items at restaurants.
Okay, so for the most, I think we get the general idea of what's happening here. So it seems like a lot. It's a trend that's been happening a lot in the last couple of years, and probably the last decade. Right, there have been more people, companies, and people have been more
conscientious.
There you go. Thank you. Conscientious about these dyes and what's in food. That's why people have been going more natural, vegan, vegetarian. Just because you just don't know what. You don't really know what's food inside food, even though there's an ingredient list because of these things. Like you can look at an ingredient list and I'm like, what is this weird chemical, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why people are being more attentive. Like, will this stop me personally from eating hot Cheetos? No, but it's interesting to see what they're trying to do to get it banned from a educational system, right? If it's not,
I understand, but that again, like you said, it doesn't stop them from banning for kids to not purchase it outside of the school. So they could bring it from outside the school, into the school. I mean,
so here's my current.
Be like the Cheeto drug trade of the.
That'll be funny. Like you open your book bag, like I got some hot Cheetos, like.
I got the Doritos, man.
No, fuck Doritos. So
Takis, sorry, Takis.
Yeah, you gotta.
Don't forget about the blue Takis. They probably have that chemical in there too somewhere.
So, at the moment, well, we're not from California, so this isn't really.
Well, I was born and raised in California. You weren't.
True, but this is also it's one of those things for just from a general perspective. I don't really see a major problem with this bill. Because at the end of the day, it's a thing where like people will still be able to get it outside of school, right? Their parents, their friends, or you'll still eat it outside. So banning it won't really do much. And
no, it won't. I get the incentive. I get the idealism behind it, looking out for the children. But again, I expect for when you're poor and you can't afford much, and that's your treat, That's cheap.
True, because it's a treat. Yeah, it's a snack. It's a dessert. Yeah, you're supposed to just have it as an extra. But people don't. The thing this is where it gets to that weird slippery slope where people's like, if you start banning this, you're gonna ban this, and you're gonna ban that. This is where it gets annoying, and I personally don't like. Like I said, I'm okay with them doing this. It's just the thing is they have to. We've talked about this a lot with, I think it was the New York school, right? School districts that were having horrible meals for their schools.
Oh yeah.
The thing is,
I think it's everywhere though. I don't think it was just one.
That was just the
state. It was every state. Yeah, every state is under that.
The thing is, if they're banning this, they have to improve in other sectors.
I absolutely agree, and they should be put more funding somehow into better school lunches in general.
So yeah, like if you're gonna reduce this, get other things, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna reduce foods that are not dye friendly, improve the food that you will be getting or currently have. Like,
absolutely.
Okay, and I also found the meme, and you did. Lucky for you, Liz, you are safe from this meme. If you want to read it, you can read it really quick.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Any female born after 1993 can't cook. All they know is McDonald's, charge their phone, twerk, bisexual, eat hot chip, and lie. I feel like this doesn't adequately add to my sister. My sister was born in 93. My sister knows how to cook. And was very happily married to her husband.
Bruh.
So I don't think it quite goes to every 93-year-old. 93.
No,
maybe,
so but for the most part, when with the way memes work over time, things get diluted, because it just boils down to all females. All they do is eat hot chip and lime.
Chip. I don't eat hot chips. My favorite chip is with salt and lime.
So that's all Liz does. All Liz does is eat hot chips and lime. That'll be a fun shirt, actually.
That would be one.
Like just you in a voice bubble says, "All I do is eat hot chips and lie." That would be funny.
I'm making you buy the hot chips, and I'll put it like I'm eating it, but I'm not really.
Well, we wouldn't be able to show it. Branding. Oh wait, it could be any hot chip.
It could be any hot chip. It doesn't. I just have to have a hot chip in my hand.
Oh, that's true. Smart, Liz. Smart. Ooh, idea.
I said there's a chip in my hand.
That's true. Okay, let's continue. Continuing on with kind of the California food stuff.
Lunches.
So let me continue to the next one. So the next article we have continues with Lunchables shouldn't be a school menus due to lead sodium. Consumer reports tells USDA. So that's what's a lot of things are happening in the kids' foods these days, So what kids doesn't love Lunchables? I agree. As a kid, I would love a Lunchable.
Yeah, exactly. If they were ever on sale, that was what we had in our lunches, literally. And my parents absolutely loved it because they didn't have to put it together. Just shove it in a bag. Everything is shoved in a bag and go.
Exactly. So, for decades, the prepackaged assortment of snacks, from deli meats to crackers to pizza, have become a childhood staples for generations after generations. Lunchables have also, in recent years, become a menu item at many schools across the United States, thanks to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Would you have been a Lunchable kid if they served it at lunch?
Yes, I think so. I'm not gonna lie.
So
I mean, we were access to In-N-Out food and pizza from like one of the joints, and I mean there were special days, there were fun days, and we were always like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, can we get money for lunch today? It's really cool lunch."
True, because I remember every other Thursday when I was in what you would consider here middle school, there's a local pizzeria. They would get pizzas because we were a smaller school. They order 5 pizzas for the entire student body. Everyone would get like 2 slices and stuff like that. And they were like thick boys, or thick for a child back in the day, you know.
You like them thick.
Bruh.
So it turns out that the popular snacks might not be the healthiest options for growing kids. Lunchables contain troubling high amounts of lead and sodium, the customer watchdog group warned Tuesday in a new report. We don't think anybody should regularly eat these products and definitely should not be considered a healthy school lunch. And that's what a chemist, Eric Boring. Damn, that sucks to have that name.
Boring.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We have a city named that. Boring.
The advocacy group said that it tested 12 store-bought Lunchable products and made with Heinz ketchup and compared them to similar lunches and snack kits.
Heinz, which is the company.
Okay. Oh, is it? I didn't know that actually. From other manufacturers. Although none of the kits exceeded any legal or regulatory limits, the tests uncovered relatively high levels of lead, cadmium, and sodium in the Lunchables kits. What else? Classified as a human
carcinogen.
And cadmium cadmium has been linked to kidney and bone disease. Oh wow. Also, this is always the fun one, as well as cancer, because everything causes cancer, right, Liz?
Everything causes cancer.
Emotional damage.
Let's see here. Because cadmium is a natural element present in soil, it can be altogether avoided. As for lead, no safe levels exist for children to consume. I love that. Like, do not eat leads, guys, right?
Not a single fuck was given this day.
All but one of the kids' Lunchables extra cheesy pizza contain harmful what? Hold
on. Phthalate. Oh, fuck. I know how to say it, but I just can't say it this morning. I know the word. I can't seem to say it today. Have Google say it for you.
That's what I'm trying to look. Google, tell me. Here it is.
Phthalate.
Phthalate?
Phthalate.
Phthalate?
Phthalate.
Phthalate.
Phthalates, that's right.
Phthalate.
Phthalate. For anyone listening, the word is spelled Phtalates. Phthalate. God, it feels like I'm back in like 3rd grade spelling bee.
They screw you over with this word.
Imagine if that was the word. Like, Liz, spell phthalate.
I would have failed.
God damn, like, you just like phthalate. TH, wrong. Wait, do I have a buzzer in here? No, I don't have a buzzer, bro. God, that was... This has to be like an 8th grade like level like word. Fuck.
Definitely.
But anyway, let's continue. Phthalate. Where's
Up everywhere chemicals.
Great, my article just left me. Boo. Okay, here we go. Where are we? How to reload it? Sodium levels, consumer. Where the fuck's phthalate? I'm just looking for the word phthalate now.
You know you can hit the control find and it'll find it for you.
That's true. I'm gonna try one last thing. Okay. There's the word shows up twice in this.
Oh shit. Well, I should be on there once.
Okay,
twice.
now we know the word. Anyways, all but one of the kits, the Lunchables extra cheesy pizza, contains harmful phthalates, dubbed everywhere chemicals, for the prevalence in plastic that can be linked to reproductive issues, diabetes, and some cancers. God, like it's like not even safe to eat anything. Just going back to the whole Cheetos thing. Like what can you like what do you give, what can schools give kids, right?
Vegetables, actual meat, and not farm grown meat, please. Thank you very much.
Liz, not our budget. Not in the budget.
Well, I think it's costing right now for actual.
Okay, let's continue. Oh god, this is so ridiculous right now. Imagine growing up now as a kid. Like it's fun because you're ignorant as a kid. You're ignorant as a kid because you get to eat Lunchables. Kids aren't going to read news articles. They don't really care that they don't even know that they're eating lead.
Next time somebody asks for me a Lunchable, I'll be like, here's your lead. Here's your sodium. Just put a pile of salt right there. Be like, here it is.
All right. Consumer Report also analyzed 2 Lunchable kits made specifically for schools that are eligible to be served to children under the National School Lunch Program. I think I remember we were talking about this specifically because
I do remember that.
Because they're made specifically for the school districts. These are a little bit different than the ones sold in stores. While the group didn't test the school kits for heavy metals or, oh my god, phthalates. Chemists did review nutritional information and ingredients listed in the 2 products: turkey cheddar crackers stackers and extra cheesy pizza, to find higher levels of sodium than store-bought versions. Oh god.
Even higher than the store-bought version.
Yeah, man, those sodium levels are high.
Damn, that's just trying to get our kids poisoned before they even get to high school.
Exactly. To meet the requirements of the federally assisted school meal program overseen by the USDA, Kraft Heinz added more whole grain to the crackers and more protein to the school lunch kits. That's what we read. I remember reading that, yes. Lunchables are not healthy options for kids and shouldn't be allowed on the menu as part of the National Lunch School Program, Romley said in a statement. Kraft Heinz told USA Today in a statement Wednesday that the company has taken steps to make Lunchables more nutritious by, for instance, adding fresh fruit to the certain kits and reducing the overall sodium as much as 26%. God, how much sodium are in these things?
I don't know, but they're heavy. I mean, cured meats have a lot of it, but I mean, like, ugh, damn. I get it. They're trying to make it preserved last longer.
Okay, and then it looks like this. They're trying to petition it to remove. Okay, so what are your thoughts, kind of, in these 2 articles talking about?
How's that? I feel like it got worse since we were kids. I honestly wouldn't touch it.
I think we both had the privilege of being in private schools too.
Yes, we did. Yes, we had a little bit of privilege.
Because
that gave us a little bit of a substantial. I mean, granted, most of the private and public schools in California were all uniform based, but
were they really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were. Oh yeah, they started young. I remember that. Like,
are you sure?
Go shopping for our stuff, and they would have their section over there somewhere because they always had like little sections. So this is for the private schools here. This is from A to Z here, and then the public schools over here, A to Z here. So,
are you sure? I don't believe public schools had uniforms.
Oh, absolutely. I think the only school that I went to school with
90s
didn't have uniforms
California.
was the Lutheran school, and they were abstaining. But when I went to private school, the other school that was right next to us, they actually had uniforms, and they were like I can't remember what it was.
Public, but anyone who was going to school in the 90s who is listening to this in public school, did you have to wear a uniform? Let us know down in the comments. Because I don't believe you.
Oh, depending on the certain areas, but because of where I was at, yes.
No, but you made a statement that all of them did.
Okay, well, most of them.
Once again, Liz just eats hot shits and lies.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, but yeah, it sounds like, it's getting really bad out there for kids, because you would think with over time, when more knowledge, you would help facilitate the next generation when with these things, but as we learn, a little bit of greed and the right elbows touching other elbows, money can be saved in one way, and
I know, absolutely.
And
who's winning here? I don't know. It's not our kids, that's for sure.
That's one thing. It's not like you're the only one with a child in the running in this thing, but the overall thing is when people could say like, well, then you can just pack your own kids' lunches. Yes and no. Yes, because yeah, you can, but that takes time and that takes money, which in this current economy, we don't want to talk about the economy. Let's try to avoid the economy
that
talk.
was last week's episode, okay?
Yeah, this one's more of people just can't afford to give quote healthy meals.
No, absolutely no. Nobody can. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We are come to the economical state of things, like how people are so poor because they're just living like literally, as we said last week, paycheck to paycheck, and what you can give to somebody, what you have for money, you are giving the crappiest lunches because you can't afford to give the best lunches. You're not giving our kids a running start or a healthy start at all. And then those who qualify for school lunches or breakfasts in the morning, it's still not the greatest breakfasts. I mean, my kid tells me, "Oh, I got a blueberry muffin." How is that healthy? What about the fruits? What about your vegetables? And what about, their other things?
It's just...
So it's interesting, and to say the least. So we will see how everything unfolds.
So let's we'll see how it works. Luckily we don't live in California. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, their things we'll end up with and go from there. But
I don't remember any of the school lunches that my kiddo went to, and the public school system that they are in. Was any bad lunches? I saw there were, and most of the time it was taken out of the garden. Because they had a garden in the back, and so they used some of the fruits and vegetables from that. That was always not fun.
Interesting. I would just like, all right, time for the next person to just throw chemicals into that, affect them. Never know, Liz. Never know.
I know, right?
Let's stick to California a little bit. This, like I said, there's gonna be kind of a California. There's this topic, the story that I want to talk about that no one's been talking about. I can't believe we missed it, Liz. Something that happened last year.
Oh, really?
Shock after shock, a visit to a Chinese secret biolab in California.
Secret biolab? Holy shit!
This article was back from 2023.
Wow.
And no one's talking about it.
That's crazy.
So you want to read it because it deals with a lot of interesting things that you might have a little bit more insight.
Okay. In the heart of California, hold on, I'm gonna get some ads blocked away. In the heart of California's San Joaquin Valley, the city of Ridley is known as locally as the world's fruit basket. They have more fresh fruit and is grown there than any other place on Earth, but it is going on the inside of the dilapidated warehouse in the center of town that thrust this small agricultural community into the nation's spotlight. It was literally shock after shock after shock. Jesselyn Harper, Ridley's only full-time code enforcement officer, told Scripps, only one! Damn.
If I remember right, I think this town, I can look it up, but I think this town is only like 25,000 residents.
Oh, so...
It's a small...
She said it's very small, but still. She said it all started when she received the tip that cars were parking outside a building that she thought was vacant. So she knocked on the door. There was 3 women that answered the door, Harper said. They appeared to be an Asian descent, possibly Chinese, and they were all wearing basic PPE, white lab coat, gloves, and surgical masks. When she walked inside, she was stunned by what she saw. There was blood and other bodily fluids and Gatorade bottles labeled in Mandarin, samples of at least 20 potential infectious agents, including malaria, dengue fever, and COVID-19, and a pungent odor that turned out to be nearly 1,000 mice. I really need my gas mask.
Can you imagine that? That is what they found in this facility. All this. Like, that is... wild.
Wow. It is. That is crazy.
Because
Oh man.
because this is literally in the backyard in America.
I know. Like I said, it's been happening for years. Whether we open our eyes to this shit? Wow.
Yeah, this is where we'll probably get into the thing where it's just like lack of regulation, because they only had. I'm not putting the blame on this one individual. There's only one individual, and probably in a small town that's pretty quiet. I can imagine, right? You really don't think about it. And I remember when I was like looking into the story specifically, the only reason is because someone noticed a random hose sticking through, like one of those green garden hose sticking out from from one of the walls of the building. And I'm like, that's weird. And someone just like started poking, and that's where this inspector came, or enforcer, whatever. And like, imagine if no one ever noticed that. It would have continued.
No, right?
Continue.
I started to get nervous because I started to go into the realm of this is a lab, she said. And it's scary to think that something like this could be hidden in plain sight. No kidding.
If I remember right, the building was actually like 2 blocks away from the police department too.
Wow. Her discovery launched some 15 investigations across local, state, and federal agencies, and the sparked conspiracy theories that the Chinese biological weapons lab had taken root in rural America. Our local politicians are out there terming it Wuhan 2.0, said Wheatley City Manager Nicole Ziba. As officials scrambled to make sense of what Harper had found, it was quickly apparent that no one had at the lab wanted locals to know they were there. They wanted under the cover of night, and Wheatley said, and no one, not even the business across the street that was talked to, no one knew anything was happening inside this building. No one knew who was behind it either. Scripps news search for answers led to court records that listed the company called Universal Meditech at the lab's owners as a lab owner. Not a single associated responded to phone calls or emails. So we found the business address through California state records and drove to the Fresno offices. I've been through Fresno. That's small. When we arrived, we found a modern building in stark contrast to the rundown warehouse in Wheatley. It was surrounded by security cameras made by a Chinese surveillance technology firm called Hikvision, which is now banned from selling its products to the U.S. for national security reasons. Universal Meditech, who's in charge of the Universal Meditech Scripps News National Security respondent Sasha Ingraber asked Ziba, "Boy, that's the grand question right now, because the company has been able to play so many games and create so many misdirection in everything," Ziba responded. "We know that they're sending us down rabbit holes and some wild goose chases. If we find prosecutable offenses, who in fact are we going to be prosecuting?"
But yeah, it looks like they're just going through a lot of things, and it's definitely a national security, like the conspiracy of the whole Wuhan thing that is that's been a talk for ever since the COVID thing. That we'll say that now. It's like how it all began. Whether it did or didn't happen, that's up in the air. But having something just like we've gone through it already. Like we don't need a part 2 or another sequel that is worse, right? And
absolutely agree.
And
don't need the worst. But I mean, as overpopulation happens, it's bound to happen on natural occasion. So
I'd rather let it happen natural, like than being man-made. At least like nature's trying to kill us off instead of each other. Because
right.
Like there's already enough scare, like with at least as far as like the Chinese go, like there's already so much back and forth. Like look what happened when we were talking about the whole TikTok thing, right? So it's just having this. I can't believe. And here, okay, let's go back a little bit. Let's step back. the thing is, no one's talking about this, Liz.
Nobody is. Absolutely. I was not aware of this. Holy crap. Did you not point it out to me? I don't think anybody else.
Like, this is big. This is a super serious like security factor, because I was kind of scrolling through it because I found a different article, but there was like, they found so much stuff in there. Like, they actually found like also like contraband drugs and bunch of stuff in this place. And it's just like, what were they doing in there? Like testing with rats and so much. Like we can continue with the article, but I think we kind of get the gist of it. And what are your thoughts? Like we're in California, so close to us. Like, what are your thoughts?
And
mostly from a medical.
I mean, yeah, from a medical standpoint, it's even scarier. But like,
let's start with
what I think the worst scary right now is the fact that they could be anywhere in the United States. Have these shell companies everywhere, and these buildings inhabited, and we have no freaking idea.
Yep,
it doesn't matter what state it is. I mean, or town. It's like, it is literally in our backyard. Like, this is happening and nobody's talking about it. Like, this is scary. And the fact that they're not even raising awareness and not creating a task to like go down and tackle these. I mean, there's so many empty buildings. I mean, granted, there's like how many empty buildings in my house alone or your place. I mean, how do we know?
That's true.
How do we not know?
So I'll play a little devil's advocate to that. The thing is, like, if you raise awareness to it, then there's the ones that are already out there will put up more security around it. That's my devil's advocate to it. But the public should know.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts from like a medical standpoint?
That's scary. They're making homemade labs, essentially. In essence, what are they creating? What hospitals have gotten equipment from them? Like, is it really worth the equipment? Is it worth the money investment into this Meditech? I mean,
well, no, those are just security. I don't think they were giving anything to hospitals. I think they were doing stuff.
How do you know?
That's true. That's true.
How do you know? Absolutely. How do you know? Oh, that makes me very suspicious now. I mean, really is concerning. And as a populace, we already had 9/11. We already had this other a pandemic. Why are we not keeping our eyes out, I guess? Why are we not doing more for our country? I feel like our country leaders are just not, they're sitting in the back seat, just taking the money and the bribes. So, that is absolutely scary.
Yeah, I'm kind of going through. I'm trying to see if I can find a list of stuff, but it's kind of the same thing. Frozen blood, jars of urine, dead rats or mice, whatever. Vials of HIV, Ebola. Oh my God. It is.
Ebola's not fun.
God, what were they doing? And you're right. What other small towns or even large towns it can be
hiding in?
Yeah. So it's definitely a thing where we're not trying to scare people. It's just like people have to be more aware. Like, they need to talk about these things. Like, this happened back last year. Apparently it happened the quote, the raid happened back in fall of last year. So like, that's what we're
probably talking with that town or the surrounding cities, but not like anywhere else. I wouldn't have not known if you not pointing it out, or even an article would have been posted about it. I mean,
we find these articles too, even for our thing, and it never got through our level of things. That's what's wild. It's like, mostly with the way social media and things are like that, even during all this stuff, you would think it would like pop off.
Yeah. Nope. Definitely trying to keep it hush hush. That's kind of weird.
So, goddamn. All right, just be aware out there, people. Just be careful. Just never know. Just all we can do is try to stay safe as best we can. Never know. Mm-hmm. All right, let's kind of conclude with our final story here. So, Liz, we forgot to mention early in the episode. Were you able to catch the eclipse?
I was working.
You're working?
I was working. I was running around. What were you doing? Sleeping with the...
Normally, I would be asleep, but I was actually at a doctor's appointment for my mother, so I still missed it too. It was exactly at the time.
You were inside of a building too. Yeah. One of my coworkers technically walked out, and they were like, "Oh, it's cloudy."
Yeah, it was not the best, and we were at least not in the focal point of the eclipse, so it wouldn't have mattered, right? So
we would have seen partial if you were able to see it at some point.
Yeah.
One of my relatives actually lives out that way, out in Ohio. They actually got the full on view of it. They actually took a video of it, and you saw the time lapse of it happening. It was awesome. It was kind of cool. Nice. I was like, I like that.
I had a few people who lived down in Texas, and a lot of people flew out there to them to go see it for the day, but it was cloudy that day. So yeah,
I wanted to be in the northern part of the country that day.
But yeah, normally, knowing me, if I actually rested, I would have done what everybody was doing. Had to do the actual ritual sacrifice to the eclipse, like we had to for another 100 years of prosperity. But we were busy, that's why we aren't that,
religious.
So, but apparently a mom accused a murder-suicide leaving kids on a freeway was a astrology influencer fearful of the eclipse.
Wow.
So the death of an infant and an injury of a young girl, both found on the 405 freeway earlier this week, were tied to a murder-unaliving investigation involving the children's mother, Danielle Johnson. The horrific event that spanned across the neighborhood in the LA County resulted in the death of 3 people, including Johnson's partner and her 8-month-old child and herself. Oh, we're still in California. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about that. The days leading up to the murders, Johnson took to social media where she posted a slew of misinformation, anti-Semitic, and conspiratorial rhetoric under the handle X-handled Mystic Eclectic. Johnson, identified as a mystic and astrologer, retweeted posts about unproven theories regarding the origins of COVID, what we were just talking about, and the video about Jews promoting pedophilia in the industries, and apocalyptic speech concerning the recent solar eclipse to her over 100,000 social media followers. So she was pretty big.
Wow.
So you want to read that tweet really quick?
Wake up, wake up. The apocalypse is here. Everyone who has ears, listen. Your time to choose what you believe is now. If you believe a new world is possible for the people right now, there is power in choice. There is power in choice. We're supposed to make the choice for the collective. And
then there's the thing where X kind of does like, the solar eclipse of 2024 did not bring the end of conflict. Danielle Johnson, known as a Yoka, suffered an unfortunate mental break that led to the murder-suicide of herself, her partner, and their 8-month-old child as a result of the conspiracy theory. That's the corrective X thing. Before that, let's before we continue, what are your thoughts here?
It's sad. I mean, when you're given so much misinformation these days, and you spew it too, it's just bad. It's bad. And people can claim they're healers and mystics and the total believer of astrology. Well, nobody's been right. Not even the Mayans. I mean, as much as we like to think about it.
Liz, my divinity is perfect. What are you talking about?
You're ascended from heaven, Jesus?
No, from hell. I had to come. I had to come from hell to earth. Then I'll be entering the 5th plane of existence that we're currently in because of the eclipse.
Oh, really? So, I didn't know that.
we left the 4th plane of existence. This is the 5th because the eclipse happened. Did you not know that?
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah, we're existing currently. So that's where we're going to get a bunch of new Mandela effects as well.
Oh, God.
So that's where going into that a little bit before we can jump back into this like tragic story is we are at a point where people even in the past could predict when eclipses will happen. Like there was science behind that even for them. But definitely during those times, the signs of the eclipse were truly one of those things where a divinity or something of that nature was happening. You know, the sun god is cursing us, so we have to do a ritual sacrifice to appease it, right?
Yeah.
So, as much as it was in our day and age not right, you know, to them it was like they needed to appease their god, right? Mm-hmm. But you would think in this more modern day and age, you would think people would be sane, but we are not in that world. There are so many echo chambers. There are so many things. There probably was so many ritual sacrifices happening that happened that day. No doubt about it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as much as we like to say we're a spiritual world, I mean, how many have too many different ways of viewing the spiritual world, so many different views of it, like, you know, sacrificing and, you know, bloodletting and et cetera, to believe the part of the world, you know.
So yeah, and then just getting to the point, to the day of the eclipse, so many people are just spouting nonsense. Like I could have probably spent like the 2 weeks prior just doing some BS on TikTok and stuff like, and just doing these weird little things that would make people believe a certain thing to get something. But for me, that would be a joke. But then a joke can become someone's truth, and that's where these weird conspiracies happen. And mostly with someone with some level of influence, like what's her name? Oh my god, what's her name again? Danielle, yeah. So let's continue a little bit here. Amongst her troubling messages, she warned her followers about the upcoming eclipse, telling them to choose a side, predicting something significant would occur. Investigators say that they are examining her social media posts to understand what led to her violent actions. On the morning of Monday, April 8th, just hours before the recent total solar eclipse, police said Johnson fatally stabbed her boyfriend, 29-year-old Jalen, inside their Woodland Hills apartment. She then took her 2 daughters and forcefully pushed them out of her moving car on the 405 freeway. Holy shit. Tragically, her 8-month-old daughter, fathered by Chansey, died on the impact. Ooh, what a way to go. Goddamn. And the 9-year-old sustained serious injuries. As the 9-year-old fell into the middle of the freeway, she injured herself and dropped the infant. And then in a race to get out of the freeway, not to get hit by traffic, the 9-year-old managed to get to the shoulder successfully, but the infant was struck by a traffic. Oh, God damn. The infant succumbed to the injuries in the middle of the freeway. That is sad.
Absolutely sad.
That is sad. Concerns have not been raised about Johnson's mental states, and some of the describing her recent behaviors as deeply disturbed rather than attention-seeking. Additionally, Johnson, also known as recording artist, and operated an Etsy store under the handle of Rich Girl Magic, where she offered audio recordings for healing and astrology readings. Inside Johnson's apartment, investigators found numerous tarot cards, decks, candles, religious figurines, feathers, altars, further highlighting her deep involvement in the mysticism and spiritual practices. Currently, Johnson's surviving daughter, age 9, is under the care of the Department of Children and Family Services. Her father, residing out of the state, may potentially take custody, although specifics from unclear. So, that is sad.
Absolutely. That is very sad. I mean, I feel sorry for the girl. She's gonna have a lot of trauma and not an understanding of this at all.
Because 9-year-olds,
what happened to a 9-year-old? It's
that's a lot.
What the fuck?
Because their mom went wild, tried to kill them, and she literally lost her sister. So that is.
Oh God, I couldn't even imagine that. Like literally, I can see it in my head. Like to be like mentally there, be like,
I
oh
can
my God.
That is a scary thing. I mentally, when I was reading it, I mentally pictured that, and I'm like, that is horrible.
That is gonna be scarring. Like having a kid and be like, oh my God, this kid's gonna die the same way, you know?
So the thing, then the other side of the coin is then the people who do practice these level of mysticism and aren't truly harming people, because there are people who believe in these, and to each their own, and they make a living at this, and they're not really hurting people, like the people who scam people for like hundreds of dollars a month. People who actually are trying to be helpful and stuff like that to an extent and actually believe in it. This just puts a negative connotations to them, making them down. Because then when you hear that person's a tarot card reader, you just think, are they one of those crazy people? That's what you think, right?
Are they really out there, or like mentally out there, or are they mentally stable? You know, what do you question that person to? Like, are they good people or not good people? What are they? Exactly.
That just these types of people put those people in that level of like that public image. I'm like, these people are not right, when they're just trying to make their own belief without hurting other people.
Yeah.
So
as long as you don't create a call and kill them all, you're good. Right?
Hey man, with social media, like remember Liz? Hey Liz, stay quiet. We're trying to make our cult. Remember?
Bruh.
You didn't tell everybody we were starting the cult already? They didn't know they joined already when they clicked the subscribe button.
Kudos to Plutos.
But yeah, that's disappointing. And there's probably stories out there that are not as impactful at the moment that I found with the eclipse. Probably things were happening. People were like probably getting wild, because definitely there's one that my family believes in, which I find interesting, is for pregnant women. I think I told you about this, right?
Yes.
So
I think you mentioned it in the past about.
Did I? Yeah, because we had another eclipse recently too. That's a lot of eclipses. For anyone listening who is new here, so the way what's believed is that the light from an eclipse, the UVs, is bad for unborn children. So pregnant women should not be out during the time the moon is being crossed into the light of the sun. So pregnant women should be in darkness, away from sunlight. That is the thought, because then the child will be born with either defects or something, a negative thing, which scientifically doesn't make sense. But like, you know, like I said, if the most you have to do is just kind of stay indoors for 10 minutes, right? I see nothing wrong with it. So, it's like one of those beliefs that it's not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
So
if we want to, but you know, ultimately, is it?
Yeah. See?
Who knows?
No. But like, if it's only a 10-minute, like, okay, I can't be outside for these 10 minutes, it's not harming anyone, believe it. I don't care. Nice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sad. I hope the child makes their way through life in a positive manner moving forward, because that is definitely a core memory that is never going to leave them.
No, absolutely not.
So, all right then, everyone. Any final thoughts, Liz? Like anything you want?
Eat your Lunchables and your your hot Cheetos.
No, that's true. Liz is just gonna eat Cheetos and lie to you. I got it. All right then, everyone. Thank you again for joining us on this week's episode. Like I said, we are working on some stuff. Me and Liz had a little pre-show discussion. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up. We are doing, actually, while we were talking there, something popped into my head. I want to do a quick chit chat afterwards. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. This episode was heavily a California episode. We joked about that it was going to be a California-based episode, but it turned out to be one, like with this story too.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see.
Stay down the West Coast, which is the best coast, I guess.
Bruh.
Yeah, let us know down in the comments any of the stories that you found interesting, your thoughts, your comments on any of the stories we talked about. We'll read them, and then we'll probably bring them up in the next episode. So everyone, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.
Bye.